Hi, Ellen. First of all, thank you so much for your patience as you've been receiving all of these messages from across the United States, Australia, and Canada in support of my cause. My name is Sarah Barbulesco, and I'm the director of Project Hope, a film to benefit Alzheimer's disease research, as well as raise attention about the ramifications of Proposition 8. As you can see, we are eager to have your assistance on this film. We're currently in pre-production, and we could use a lot of help, ranging from funding to just getting the word out there about what we're doing. At this time, I'd like to read you something that I wrote. I'm also a high school English teacher, and at the end of last term, I presented my students with this question. If you had to remove all other traits from humanity and could only retain one, what would that one be and why? One of my more inquisitive students turned that prompt around on me and said, Ms. B, what trait would you choose? Having just begun pre-production on this film, I knew instantly what I wanted to write about. Throughout time, the progression of humanity has depended upon the development of a variety of traits. These traits have served to define us, to sculpt us into the advanced and unique beings we are today. However, one trait transcends all others in its absolute power to unite and promote growth in our species: compassion. Compassion is what allows us to understand one another, to overcome differences, and ultimately it is what fuels us to continually better ourselves. Without this trait, all of our accomplishments, our technology, our abilities, our activities, will be devoid of meaning and heart. When all else is lost, we must cherish, nurture, and protect our compassion, as it stands as the only quality that can save us from ourselves. I have, many times in my life, been blessed by the compassionate acts of others. One of the most significant of these came at a difficult time for my family when my grandmother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. This disease is one of the most torturous of all medical conditions, as it slowly robs a person of who she once was. My grandmother went from her life as a conversationalist and an artist, with a wonderful light of laughter and levity in her eyes, to a shell of a person who could do little more than stare at her beloved family with the same interest she examined the wallpaper. Through this demeaning degradation of his wife, I never once saw my grandfather pause in his devotion or care for my grandmother. He helped her to eat, to bathe, to take care of all of her biological necessities. He read to her, continued to talk with her when she no longer knew who he was or what he was saying, and reassured her of her safety as she violently insisted he was a stranger who had kidnapped her. Eventually, my grandmother's condition reached a point where it was necessary that she move into a nursing home, but my grandfather's level of care never wavered or diminished. His visits were daily, and his smile was bright. He was by her side until finally, after much silent pain, she succumbed to the disease and was allowed some peace in her sleep. Compassion did not save my grandma, and it is possible she never knew of all the sacrifices my grandfather made on her behalf. However, it was the spirit of his acts, his eternal love, that demonstrated the essence of our divine nature as human beings. In that moment, I knew this is what we must all aspire to be. Ellen, I know that you are a person of compassion. I ask that you act on that compassion and help us to make Project Hope a reality. Thank you.